Good evening and welcome back to Foundry. We need to get Firmarlite running. I forgot what it was called. We need to get Firmarlite running to get this up and working. But I also want to change the bus again because I now have the future knowledge. I only want to put things on the bus that are going to be smelted. Actually, it's smelted on the bus. And then pipes. But pipes can kind of go above. So I was looking at what we need end game. If our goal is going to be 1 every 2 seconds of the robots being made so we can sell them on the galactic market and make a profit and become the galactic dominance, we need things like, we need 5 belts or 6 belts of Techum. We need 5 belts of Xenoferrite, or 2 belts of Xenoferrite, sorry. We need 2 belts of steel, and we need 2 belts of Firmarlite. And what I'm thinking is that we go up instead of along like this. Now, 5 belts of Techum with this bus here means we just need to basically add 1 more onto the end, which wouldn't be terrible to do. We just have to move those things out a little bit, so it's not impossible to run this sort of bus. And then we've got way more than we need for Xenoferrite and way more than we need for steel, and then the Firmarlite can go on top, I suppose. That's also an option. But I'll tell you what we're doing instead. Let's go and just get the Firmarlite running to get the heavy transport bots running. And I can contemplate whether I want to do this off screen or whether I just want to literally just enlarge it by 1 along the bottom. So it needs, it's 5 of the, but no, it's 6. It's 6 belts. So we'd have to do 1 on each side of Techum. And 2 of each other. By that I mean I have the planet mod installed, which just lets you put in what you want to do and complete things. And this is 60, so this is 1 robot per second of each type. And I've just been going through here and sort of scrolling down and going, right, so let's go down here. So we need 10.17 of Techum, which means half that is 5.085. So we need 6. We need 6 Techum. And we need 2.12 of that, which comes down, so we need 2 steel. And we would need to do 3.12, which is 1.5, so we need 2 Xenoferrite. And the only other one that we smelt, because that's what we're doing, we're just having the smelting items on the bus, is Firmarlite sheets, which are way up here somewhere, boom, there. So we need 1.1, so we need 2. We need 2 Firmarlite sheets as well. So yeah, okay, so that's what we need to do. So that's not so bad. So it's 6, 2, 2, and 2, which actually technically we could put them all next to each other. Then we could have just 2 rows, 6 on the bottom of Techum, and then 2 Xenoferrite over there, 2 of this, 2 of that. That's doable. That's actually that is actually doable. If we increase the bus to 6 wide, I don't know. I don't know whether I should do that or whether I should go with the vertical one or what I should do. But either way, let's go talk to BB and then let's go and do some Firmarlite sheets.
Right. This moon has been chosen because it's not only rich in minerals, but it's also full of a liquid resource called oleumite. This sticky liquid can be refined into the various chemical products we're going to need. We should find some and drill it up.
Okie dokie. Yes, we will do that. That is those right there. So, and there. Okay, but let's go to the caves and let's do the Firmarlite first. We have an elevator going down, which is very useful. So we can do that there. It's oh dear, what was I here? Oh, so we can go down and come up and do the bits and pieces we need to do. We have a landing pad here, so we want to bring up the stuff to the landing pad. Well, actually, we were bringing this landing stuff, the stuff down here, wasn't we? Yeah. So that comes down to the landing pad, and then that needs to be shipped downstairs, and then the stuff needs to be shipped back upstairs and along. Okay, so to ship it up and down, we need a freight elevator. So let's make 2 freight elevators, because you need a top and you need a bottom. Okay, let's also call the lift. Don't know where the lift is at the lava caves. And I'm I think probably because I jumped down. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, I've also been doing some random upgrades on the station again, whatever turns up, and researching whatever last things we need. So let's see, what else can we do here? Communication center, let's build that. I'm just literally going down the list, doing everything I can do until we hit the structural things. So, but we'll get there. And I think once the incinerator is done on the research, we have no more. I know we do have some Tech 2 stuff still going on there. I didn't jump onto Tech 3 stuff to carry on up because we need to do that with the research. So we'll do that in a minute. Okay, right. Let's see here. So, what's the best way to do this? The lava caves are just directly below us, so we want to put in I want to edit this, and I think I want to go to 6 with this. Oh, sorry. There you go. I can't remember which way we actually mined out the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in a freight elevator right here. So you bring the freight up and you hold right click and you have a top and a bottom. And it's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. The top is the top of the freight elevator. So I'm going to put it there. And what would happen is your items would come out of wherever you're going to, which would be these ones here. Don't plug it in yet. And would go into the freight elevator. Put on like that. So we need power for it, which is a little awkward, but not terrible. You don't want to build underneath the freight elevator. If you can help it, you don't want to build underneath it. Because see those blue lines? That's where the freight elevator is going to connect to the next layer. So if you put anything underneath it that it can't mine through that isn't dirt or something, it's not going to be able to do it. I also don't know if we're actually far enough out to do this. I think we are. Yeah, we'll do that. So we want to go down to layer 6. And then if we mine out along here, we will be able to see there's the blue lines. Beautiful. Okay, and then if we put down the bottom of it, in there, lined up with the bars, it will create a contact, and the elevator up there, the freight elevator at the top, will start digging down the same way that this elevator that we're in now did. It will dig down, it will make it all the way down here and will connect to this. This also requires power. That's okay. We have a freight elevator that can transfer power down. Now, why did I choose level 6? Well, that is because if we dig out 1,000,000 blocks this way, maybe not 1,000,000, that might have been a bit of an exaggeration. But if we go out this way here, and we was to make ourselves a lava smelter, which I can't do because I don't have the stuff on me. I feel like I made a lava smelter. Did I put it in? I did put them in. There they are. They're over there. Oh, that's convenient. That's very convenient because this is the side I put the freight elevator on. Nice. But these, when you jump up onto them, are level 6. Turn my torch on. So if we just build this platform in to there, it will be the same height as the freight elevator. So that's the idea. Need a higher mining force where I can mine that out. Oh dear. Oh, that's not ideal. That's not ideal, especially considering the outputs for these guys are on this side. But we can turn these around. That's not a major problem. We can turn them around. That won't be an issue at all. So, right, let me do this, and I want to mine out a big section there because we need the belts coming in and going around the elevator that we have. So they're going to come down and sort of come out one side and come along and do whatever. So I need to also probably turn these around, but let me mine out a decent area to find the elevator, the freight elevator, and see how we're going to connect the two together. So, area mined out, space created, and we have an elevator in here. The freight elevator is ready to go. The freight elevators are quite awesome because they move items. They move items faster than you think. They're red for Mark 1 and yellow for Mark 2, which indicates they should be the same sort of speed as a conveyor belt, but they're not. So the freight elevator 1 has an item speed of 320 per minute, which is twice that of a Mark 1 belt, and they're bi-directional. So they can send, if you send items into the bottom, they will come out the top, and if you go into the top, they will come out the bottom. And that 320 is both ways, so it can send 320 items up or 320 items down, or both at the same time. So yeah, I thought it was shared between the up and down, but it's not. So these produce 10. So that means we can have 32 Mark 1 lava smelters connected to one Mark 1 freight elevator, and it will transport enough to get up there. What slows it down is the input and the output. It's probably a good idea to have a buffer here, have everything come into the buffer, and then that goes into the elevator. So these can be running all the time, and then the buffer can be moving up and down as it goes. So, and there are 4 different versions of freight elevators up to the fastest speed. So, power-wise, there is a little nubbin on the side of the elevator here. You can bring high voltage power into the top of the elevator and then output it at every point along the elevator. It can come out here. Freight elevators only have a top and a bottom. They don't have a mid-floor, so there's no way you can do that. It would be nice to have one. I don't know how logistically you'd work with that. So, but yeah. So, So high voltage power can come in here. We could put a transformer here, and then we could transform the high voltage power onto this floor here. I don't want to do that. On this playthrough, I'm not doing that. I'm going to have one grid to rule them all. So we need to connect this low-powered flooring with the low-powered flooring up there. And I'm going to do that back here. Because remember, this is, if we're facing this way here, we're actually facing that way is the base. So the base is this way here. So the freight elevator is in front of it. So if we run the power line in, say from here something, the power line is going to be this corner here. So I want to run a power line basically up to the sky, right at this block here. What I'm going to do, however...
Fantastic progress. Incorporating plants and trees into our factory setup not only enhances its aesthetic, but also contributes to a thriving ecosystem. With the greenhouse ready, we can now multiply the seeds we've discovered and embark on planting trees.
Awesome. So we can make trees in the greenhouse now. I literally just ticked the auto box so it could fill up all the tier 2 stuff, because there's more stuff here, including more bots and things, which is quite cool. And again, just for reference, this research queue is a mod. It is not in the base game. It is just a mod. So yeah. Right. It just basically lets you queue up stuff in here, or you can just click auto and it will just do whatever's basically next on the list. It will go through and do all the science that you're on, and then it will do the tier 3 science, and you can override it. You can choose to add things in there, and it will auto queue. And yeah. Okay. So I need to build from here up to the sky. Now that's almost impossible to do. Sort of. So if I was to come here, let's actually go here next to the freight elevator, I think. No, there might be a doesn't matter. Yeah, but I can't dig up this way because the drill isn't long enough, and you can't dig up high enough to do that. So I'd have to put in flooring like this, and then dig up, and then put enough flooring in and then dig up. So it's much easier if we go to the top and work our way down, digging all the way to this point here to connect this pad floor to the pad floor above. And so we have a tunnel all the way from the surface to here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And when we come down with the elevator will open here, and we'll have to just go, walk around, come along. We'll have the inputs and outputs on the end there. Yeah, okay. So now I just need to go up with this, which is just literally a case of clicky, clicky, click, clicky, clicky, click. Weird X-ray stuff happening with the flashing thing. So all the way to the surface. And apparently fall inside the elevator. That's interesting. That's very interesting, because I now obviously can't get out of here. Right. That is because I bumped my head on the platform above, because, yeah. Right, okay. I can't push the button in here, can I? I don't even know where the button is. Oh, call elevator. Click. It's moving. It's moving. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm trapped in an elevator shaft. An elevator coming down. Oh no. Oh no. Suddenly Foundry becomes the strangest horror movie you've ever seen. Like that scene in Terminator. Crush the robot. But no. We're fine. Okay. So you can push the button from the inside. Very useful to know. I believe there is also a respawn player here, which just sends you back to the landing zone. So yeah. However, that should be connected now. So if I put in a thing there and thing there, with a boom, it's an output, boom, it's an input, and they are powered. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All I gotta do is go upstairs and do a little bit of a thing. I took the power. Whoa, I took the power from the edge of the Techum and up underground. It was one layer underground, and it connects up there. I need to do a little bit of cleaning up there, so that's fine. Also, not sure what these pokey up. Oh, don't know. Anyway, let's turn these two around. Because we can get them in here. I think maybe. I might want to turn them that way. Let me just test something here. So if I go over, that's the furthest we can go here. You want to try and squeeze in as many as you can get. So if we put one there, I can put one next to it there. Awesome. So they come out the side, that side there. Okay. That's a fine. That's a fine. Getting up and down has always been a bit of a pain with these things, so put in some random dirt just so I can jump back up in. And what we'll do is we'll run the blocks along. I think we want 3. I'm going to do 4 so that I can have space to walk as well. But that's important. That's important. So we'll do 4. So we want to have very toasty feet. We want to have input and output for them. So this is the output. So this will try again. This is the output. This will come this way, and we'll run it on the outside line like this, all the way along. It doesn't need to go this far because these inputs are sort of, so you can input and output on both of these. There's no that. I got to kind of question why the lava smelters don't have actual belts. Like, why isn't there a belt output here and a belt output here? Which would make life a bit awkward because they're then sort of locked into a position. But the reason I say that is because the landing platforms don't require any power. And as such, they have a belt output and a belt input system, so you just run belts directly into them. You don't need the loaders. Whereas the lava smelters don't need power, but then still need power to run this here, so you've got to run power platforms around. I don't know why that's a thing. It's strange to me. I would have thought these would have had their own belts, you know, connected up to them. So maybe make these things one longer, so they're 3 on either side, and have a single belt go in here and a single belt come out there. Which would make them a little bit more awkward to use because you'd have to orientate them in certain ways to get them to work. But yeah, it's not complicated to run power around anyway. I will say the HV thing, running HV into the top of the elevator and then coming out and putting the transformer down, it's so much simpler. It is so much simpler. The reason I didn't want to do it personally, and this is just a personal thing, there's no reason, is because when you go here, every transformer is a new band. We saw it before when I had that here. So if you have, when I had the finish the sentence, I had it before when I had each one of the factories upstairs having their own separate transformers, and they become a new one. So this becomes really long and thin, so you zoom out and you're trying to figure out where it is. So it's difficult to figure out where the problems are. Like if you're overloading a transformer, you've got to zoom out and then sort of go through and see where the the green bars turn yellow or red, and it's and then you've got to figure out which one that is. Like so, because you can't name them. So it's like, okay, so it's got 6 assemblers and loads of loaders and things, but then the one next to it's got exactly the same because it's exactly the same build. So how do I know which one's the faulty one? And yeah, so the way I'm doing it is basically we're going to have a high voltage grid, transformers onto the low voltage grid, and then one low voltage grid for the entire place, with a few exceptions. There will be more stuff on the high voltage grid anyway. There may be a few exceptions when it comes to stuff like doing the big mining things out in the world, because running a low voltage to all of them would be a bit of a pain. So, yeah. And I'm not doing solar panels. I don't know if I mentioned this actually in there. I have chosen to froze the sun in the sky. If you hold Alt and press U in Foundry, you bring up the camera tool system. You can turn off the day and night cycle. It freezes time exactly where you are. Well, no, it freezes the sun exactly where you are. So wait for midday. Wait for your clock here to be about midday. Alt and U, turn that off. It's daytime permanently. It's not that I don't like the look of the factory during the day. During night time, sorry, it's that YouTube is notoriously bad when it comes to darkness, so it looks more grainy at night. So just leaving it by daytime all the time makes stuff easier. So it's not like we don't have to deal with this, don't have to deal with the torch all the time, and yeah. However, that will let solar panels run all the time. Solar panels will be able to work 24 hours a day, which is cheaty, so I'm not using them. I'm just not using solar panels. We'll see how it goes. I wouldn't mind doing a playthrough all night time as well, see whether that's just visually viable. The sun set on the first day and then never rose again. But okay, so I'm going to do an input there and an input there. I'm going to do an output there and an output there. So we're kind of doing the intro lane on all of them there, which leaves a gap between the two, which is quite nice to do. So, boom. Okay, then all we need to do is plug in the Firmarlite, and we should start getting some Firmarlite sheets. So up we go, and we very simply, this is the bits here. So I'm just gonna fill that in so we don't see it there. But no one will ever know. So like I said, these have an output. They don't require any power, so they have an output. I'm surprised the lava smelters don't have an output, purely for the reason they don't require power. So then you wouldn't have to run power down there. So Firmarlite comes out, we plug it into here. This is going to be an input, like that. And then on this side, I'm going to have the output, and we'll do it that side there. And then this is going to want to have to go down to the bus, which means I kind of want to have it run along here and down, I think. So we want to go this way. I want to go and have a quick look, see as to where I want it to come in. It could come in just after all those balances, I suppose. We could bring it in. We'll bring it in here. It wants to be higher than that. Well, we'll bring it in here actually. But wants to be this height, so there. And then we have to go and fix the belt because the belt's going to be in broken chunks because of the trees. Okay. And then this wants to join the bus here, doesn't it? So, yeah, so I'm really not sure which way I wanted to go and do the bus here. So I'm just going to join it on the top for the moment. Like this. And we'll just do the standard thing here. It would also allow me to use would allow me to not have this weird up and down thing. Very descriptive of me there. Thing, yeah, up and down thing. Oh no, we can't do that. We can't do that. The steel has to come down here. We need 6 second and 2 of each. It would make sense just to have a 2-layer belt, wouldn't it? And then just raise them up as and when we need them. We'd have a 2-layer belt. So the lower belt does the whole. It's 6 wide and does this whole balance thing every time we need to run the belt off of it. And then the belts above just have a single balancer, and they just come up by one. Leave. They can come over the top. That might not be a terrible idea. I'll tell you what we'll do for now, though. I'm just going to plug this in because I want to get this working. So let me just run it literally in the sky. Whoop. And you need to go away tree as well. Thank you. Put on. And right, what do we want in here? So we want Techum. I'm just going to plug this in directly for now. I want to get this working, and then we'll look at changing the bus. That's Ferrite. This one is steel. Oop. This one is Firmarlite sheets. Awesome. Which should be coming at any time now. Let me finish off building this because I haven't actually built all the inputs and stuff for these. So we need steel and stuff here. So let me do this. That should be everything there, with just the outside line I don't think I've done yet, so that should be fine. Okay, now, where are our Firmarlite sheets? Aha! You have no power. And you have no power because of that. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So now you can send the stuff in, so it wasn't going in the first place. It's going down. See them going down? No, 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 no. All the way to the lava caves. Very slowly down to the lava caves, I might add. You can make it. You can do it. Come on. There we go. And then it comes out of there. There it is. It will get dragged into this one. Into here. And start smelted into other ones. Let me add the Firmarlite I have on me. Also, let me drop this in there. I can't drop this in there because some machines will let you drop in the output, some won't. It's a bit weird, but yeah. So this will output here, which means we're outputting sheets here. Boom, boom, boom. There it goes. And then the sheets go up. The way it kind of works is as soon as it gets an item, it goes, and then between this leaving and the next one leaving, it buffers how many it can do. So, like, first time you saw there was one Firmarlite bar that came out, and then the rest all came out with it. So that's what will happen at the top. One sheet will come out, and then all the rest will come out with it. And a few million years later, the Firmarlite sheets finally make their way into the machines. You don't actually need that, because you don't use Firmarlite. You do. You need one. Oop. There we go. You need way more than that to actually do the thing. So I'm just going to go dump. There we go. Have 80 of those. We have no electronic components. Okay, what did I mess up here? You have no wire. Because you have no input. I don't know. Who built these machines? Who built these machines? There we go. Awesome. Okay. So that should, at some point, now I'm not sure how much we need, 6 a minute, so 6, 12, 24, 30. We need 30 a minute, and we're currently producing 20 a minute, so we're not actually making enough down there. That's fine. That's fine. This is just to get it working. But there you go. There's our transport bots. Woo, we have heavy duty transport bots. Woot. Yay. Yay. Success. Success. Okay. We need to upgrade things down under and get things going. It's really, the lava caves are a really strange thing at the moment in the game, because there's only one reason to go down there, and that is Firmarlite sheets. And it's odd that you need lava to melt them, because I mean, some furnaces, smelters and things can get up to easy above lava temperatures, so it's a weird thing, but it's a game choice. It's a game choice. I don't know. But yeah, so hopefully more things will be coming to them to make it worthwhile, because otherwise you're just going down there literally to put down lava smelters, and that's it. So. But okay, we'll leave this one here. We shall come back next time, and we shall carry on from there. Heavy duty transport bots are going. Once this is full, we'll start selling them up, and it'll be awesome. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed this one. I will figure out what I want to do with the bus between now and the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.